Yo, what it do? You already know, man. It's your boy again, Mr. Carolina. I switched my hat. You already know it goes. No matter what happens, no matter what we go through, I'll always bleed Carolina blue. Now, let's talk about our beloved, man, Charlotte Hornets. Now, in case you've been sleeping under a rock, or you haven't been paying attention, Charles Lee, Jeff Peterson are going into their second year as our general manager and as our head coach. Let's start off with the draft because I missed that one. I was actually out of the country at the time with family, so I know a lot of people were hyped. Some folks wanted Ace Bailey. Some folks wanted Trey Johnson. I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted Trey Johnson. But I understand the drafting of Conkinable. I understand the drafting of Lynn McKeely. I understand the drafting of Sion James. I understand-ish the drafting of Ryan Kalkbrenner. Much needed. I understand the trading of Mark Williams. In a way. To me, we needed to space the floor. Mark, as showing flashes like he did, was it's hard to describe, man, because Mark Williams had tremendous potential. He really did. He had tremendous potential, but it was putting it together. That was the issue that a lot of us Hornets fans had with Mark Williams. It was a lot of times the lack of physicality in the post. It was the lack of defensive IQ. At times, it was the lack of offensive IQ at times. It was the fact that you weren't available a lot of the time. So, am I shocked that he was traded? Yes and no. Why do we keep trading everybody to Phoenix? I don't know. But he wasn't available. And then you look at where we are as far as the center position goes, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie about it. It scares me because we fit the pieces around. We're trying to fit the pieces like now around a potential superstar in LaMelo and Brandon. But again, you have to be on the floor. LaMelo, the past few years, as much as we love LaMelo, commits stupid fouls. Is not on the floor regularly like he should be. So you can't really build around somebody that's not there. Now, am I hoping he stays on the floor more and contributes more? Because yes, we need him on the floor because he is our point guard. Absolutely. Brandon apparently said he is almost close to 100%, if not there already. He brings that dog mentality a lot of times that LaMelo goofs around with. And as I said, as much as I like LaMelo, like I need you on the floor, my guy. Con Knipple has. Let's get to the draft picks. Con Knipple is not flashy, but he's efficient. You understand? You don't always need that flashy player to, be a superstar. Khan he's like an adult at a young age. He's an adult in the room at a young age. The game is not flashy, but he makes the right play. He can shoot. He can play make. He's not uber athletic. He's not going to blow past anybody, but he's not going to be stupid and loose with the basketball. He's going to spot up. He's going to do his job. He's going to be a professional. I can tell from watching some of his tape at Duke, from watching from him in Summer League MVP, even though as much as I liked him, for me, KJ Simpson was the Summer League MVP. Keep it above 50 with you. KJ Simpson was something, and we're going to talk about him in another video. Liam McKinley showed potential in his first 2 games. Didn't know much about the guy. Had to do some homework on him. Big East Freshman of the Year. Can shoot the cover off the ball. Got traded back up in the first round to get him. He's a sharpshooter. He showed he could be a point forward because we ran a lot of our offense through him the first couple of games. He showed, he can defend. He'll get in there and rebound. Like I said, he can shoot, and he can create for his teammates, which is awesome. And that we're going to need that because with Grant Williams not really being available because of injury and get well soon, he's not really going to be there for us. Grant Williams will be there for a while. So power forward spot, small forward spot is going to, minutes are going to kind of be behind Miles are going to be up for grabs. Zion, again, another guard out of Duke, played good the first couple games. I can't even say good. He made smart plays. He made plays that made you say, He's a project that, he'll spend a lot of time in Greensboro, I'm sure of it, because the guard, we'll get into that too, the guard depth, the wing depth is we actually have depth now at the guard spot and the wing spot. We have depth. And it's not just people, it's not just bodies that you plucked off of the couch. We actually have depth. So it's going to be hard for him. It's not hard for him. He's going to be able to get on the floor. Not Zion, excuse me. Zion's going to be hard for him to get on the floor. Ryan Kalkbrenner, 7'1", 7'2". The jury for me, even though he showed flashes in Summer League, the jury for me is still out. Because I see the potential in the shot. I see the defensive potential. I see a little bit. I see the lob threat. I see that a little bit, but we already had lob threats. We had that in Mark Williams. You had that in Nick Richards. I see some rim protection, but you also had that in Mark Williams. You had that in Nick Richards. But I also see him getting bullied a little bit in the paint. So he needs to, until training camp gets here, get stronger. He needs to show that physicality in the paint that this Hornets team has lacked since the days of really Dwight Howard. Now it's like a season or so. We need him not to come in and be a world beat because he went in the second round for a reason. But I'm not expecting much out of him. I'm not projecting him as a starting center. Like if I had to go into the season right now at the center position, I would pick Musa. And that's scary in itself because Musa, as much as we like him, as much as he hustles, is undersized at 6'9". And it's cool maybe to start the season off with, but if you're relying on Musa for heavy minutes at the center position, then you've already failed. And it would suck because Jeff Peterson has done such a phenomenal job with the free agents, trades, draft. And when you look at this team, yes, we came off of sadly to say, the only championship thing that we do have. And please don't hang that banner because that's oh my God. Don't hang a Summer League banner. It's Summer League. You do the shirts, that's cool. Don't hang a banner. Please, God, for heaven's sake, don't do that. That's Jesus Christ. No. That's how low the bar is set for this franchise. But it was a good accomplishment because it shows we're building something in the Hornets organization. We're building something that the fans can be proud of, that we haven't been able to be proud of in years. So we want to build off the momentum that the draft has given us, the off season has given us, summer league, and I'm looking forward to seeing a healthy unit and seeing what they can do. Now, with that unit, as we transition, with that unit, in my opinion, as a Hornets fan of over 30 years, in my opinion, you don't put too much pressure on Khan to be in that starting lineup. Now, he's going to get minutes, absolutely. Should he get minutes? Yes, he should get minutes. And like I said, Liam, I can see him getting minutes, and just because our center depth is so, I can see Kalkbrenner getting minutes. That's what I said. Sion, I don't see him touching the floor much. Maybe a little bit in preseason, maybe in a blowout, but I see him spending a lot of his time in Greensboro. Because when you look at the guard depth, right, you go starting point guard, of course, is Melo. For me, two guard, I would go Colin. Again, skipping too much. We got Colin Sexton in the trade with Utah. We sent Nurk out. I got Colin Sexton in. So I would go Colin at the 2, Brandon Miller at the 3. Miles is going to be at the 4. And if you're going to ask me, I would say Moose at the 5. I say Moose at the 5 right now because, no, I do not trust a rookie. And Kalkbrenner, he showed me in summer league he's not ready. You're not ready to start. You may give us a few minutes here and there, but you're not NBA ready because you were getting bullied by summer league guys. He's not ready to start. Now, he altered a lot of shots, but he's going to need time. So don't rush him. I see him spending time in Greensboro as well. And Mason is the adult of the center rotation, but we let go of Mason for a reason. Mason lost his starting job in Phoenix for a reason. He went to the Clippers. It's like Mason's just he's okay. It's okay. He doesn't scare anybody down post. Now, is he going to get physical? Does he have a nice handle? Is he a good passer? Absolutely. But again, if you look at our options at the center position, Musa, Mason, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. So you got an undersized center, a journeyman center, and a rookie. That's what I said. If you pull in my arm, I'm going to say Musa, because Musa he'll be physical. Even though he's undersized, he'll be physical. He'll get in there, he'll rebound. Hopefully, he's working on his shot this off season, but he hustles, so I'll give him that. But he's undersized. You're only 6'9", 6'10" on a good day, maybe, but really you're 6'9" unless he grew over the summer. But like I said, right now, my projection for the Hornets starting 5, you go LaMelo at the 1, Colin Sexton at the 2, Brandon Miller at the 3, Miles Bridges at the 4, and then unless we make a trade, Musa at the 5. Now, when you go behind that one, again, that's what I said, we had a nice offseason. We re-signed Trey Mann, right? KJ Simpson had a good summer. You trade for Pat Connaughton as a backup shooting guard, small forward. You bring in Con Knipple. Josh Green is still recovering. As you say, he was still in the sling at Summer League. You have Liam most likely behind Brandon at the 3. Again, also because Josh Green's not here, we traded away Josh Okogie. Power forward spot. You have Miles starting. Tijon showed promise in some of that. His game is slowing down. He looks a little bit more comfortable. You could slide McKinley in, maybe spot minutes at the 4, but you really want him on the wing. Like I said, Tijon, you could slide Musa at the 4 as well because he can play that. we have. Oh, excuse me. Let me not disrespect. You got Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie came over. You still have Nick Smith Jr. on the roster. The minutes, the competition for the minutes at the guard and wing position is going to be intense, and you can't just come in here and say I was drafted here or they signed. And look, as I said, you can see where Jeff Peterson and Charles Lee want competition. Like, we want guys that want to compete. We want guys that want to be on the floor. Like, you have to embrace, and we have to change the Hornets DNA of stop being a laughing stock of the league, because nobody wants to be the laughing stock, right? Nobody wants that. And the Hornets have so much potential. Now, and like I said, when you look at this roster, the only position that scares me is the center position. And, I like Miles, but Miles is not really a power forward. He's an undersized power forward. And I didn't say Grant Williams, because Grant Williams most likely is not going to be back for a while, maybe January, February, they were saying, because he tore a lot of ligaments in his knee. And I know they kept saying there's no quick fix, and we're not going to skip steps as far as building this team. And I can appreciate that as a fan. I can appreciate that. And I see this team, and we always say this every year as a Hornets team, and I'm so tired of saying if. Everybody says if, which in sports, injuries are going to happen, right? Injuries are going to happen. A lot of times you can't help that. But you could see what Jeff Peterson and them are trying to do in case or when it happens, because we know eventually LaMelo Ball is going to miss games. He does. Every year he misses games, right? You bring in a Colin Sexton, right? You re-sign a Trey Mann, right? You bring in a Spencer Dinwiddie. You bring in a Pat Connaughton. You retain a KJ Simpson. You retain ball handlers that, okay, if my main guy is out of here, we have people. Spencer Dinwiddie is I believe, a 12-year veteran. Colin Sexton has ran the show successfully in Cleveland and in Utah. Trey Mann, before he got hurt, shows he can be that guy coming off the bench for the Hornets to facilitate and get buckets. Pat Connaughton is a sharpshooter. Again, Con Knipple can play make and can shoot. Liam McKinley showed at UConn in Summer League, hey, I can be a point forward, going forward. So you bring in that level of competition, that guys that want to win, it's going to change how you feel in the locker room. But at the same time, you have to be realistic about the center position. That's why I'm going to keep beating that horn. We have to upgrade the center position. That's said, as much as Plum Dog coming back, as people call him, as much as we like Musa, as much as we hope Ryan Kalkbrenner steps up. Realistically, we are right now, and it's because I'm a homer, whatever you want to call it, we're like a center away from really making a little bit of noise in the Eastern Conference, because a lot of teams in the East are going to be missing key players. In the East, Indiana, Boston, Orlando got better. Atlanta got a little bit better. What some of those top teams are going to be missing key players. So this is Charlotte's opportunity to capitalize on that. And I want to see them do something about the center position. Again, that's the only real position right now that scares me, is the center spot, because of who's there. Like, I think they're ranked as having one of the worst, if not the worst, center rotations in the NBA. It's that bad. It's bad. You got to understand, like I said, And I hate to keep saying you have an undersized center who's really a power forward that you're trying to push off as a center. When you traded Mark, you traded Yusuf, you traded Nick Rich, you left it undersized. We are not Boston. And even in Boston, you had Al Horford, you had Kristaps when he was on the floor, you had the other, you had big guys that had the size. We don't have that. We need to address it. And I'm not saying you trade away assets to get it, but we still need to address the center position. And I hope that we do, because this team can be exciting to watch. You have superstar potential in LaMelo Ball. Colin Sexton has that. I love it. His game. He has that dog. He reminds me of a more physical, younger version of Terry. Scary Terry in his prime was cool. Colin reminds me of a mixture of Terry Rozier and Dennis Smith Jr. That's who Colin Sexton reminds me of, right? So you have that. I like the addition of Spencer Dinwiddie because he gives you another ball handler, somebody that can, shoot. He gives you an adult in the room, a veteran presence that LaMelo can learn from, Khan can learn from, Trey Mann can learn from, because he's been in the NBA for 12 plus years. Pat Connaughton is just an older version of Con Knipple, right? So you have Colin Sexton has had success throughout his career. So these are guys that can buy in, that these younger players can learn from, because we haven't had a winning season in 10 years. In 10 years. And this fan base deserves it. We deserve to watch winning basketball. Like the other teams get to watch, we deserve to watch some winning basketball. And myself as a Hornets fan, I want to see winning basketball. I want to see this team succeed because we've been yearning for it for years. Years. And it's finally now that we have the right GM, the right coach, the right staff. I'm not going to get into the owner right now. I'm going to say that one for another video, because I have my comments on why everybody wants to throw MJ under the bus, which is stupid, because as a player, you still got to play. You still got to play. But anyway, before I go on that tangent, I'm liking the chemistry that is being built. I like what Charles Lee is doing as far as the culture of this Hornets team. Going forward, the guys buying in, the vets showing up at some leagues to support the rookies and the second-year players and guys that can be on the team. It's exciting to see. One guy that I wish we wouldn't have let go out the door was P.J. Hall, because P.J. Hall was, to me, and call me crazy, and I know some folks are going to, rock with me, P.J. Hall was, to me, better than Ryan Kalkbrenner in Summer League. Yes, he's old. Yes, he's his second year in the league? I believe it's second year in the league. But he showed more physicality than Ryan Kalkbrenner. He showed that dog, just, he's a shot blocker, a lob threat, he can shoot. He just showed more physicality in the paint, which in the NBA, Kalkbrenner is going to need to show, and really in order to get minutes. You have to be more physical. You're like 7'1", 7'2", dude. You need to be more physical. And again, that was a lot of people's issue with Mark Williams. Mark Williams was not physical enough in the paint. You're that big, you're that tall, your arms are that long. I need you to do more. I need you to have more rebounds per game. I need you to block more shots. I need you to do more. Don't be a BFN. Don't be a big FN. For those of you not hip, big for nothing. Don't be a BFN. Don't be big for nothing. I need you to do something. And that's why I was like Nurk, because Nurk would, he wasn't the most athletic either. He loved you, Nurk. He wasn't the best defender, but he was physical. He would back you down in a post. You would know he was under the hoop because, that frame, that almost 300-pound frame, he's going to bang around you in the post. That was never Mark. Nick showed flashes. I still stand on his promise. We shouldn't have traded Nick Richards. I'm just saying. Um, because he showed that he could be that guy down low sometimes. Was it frustrating to watch him sometimes too? Yeah. Um, but of the two, Nick was available. Um, Nick was a good free throw shooter, lob threat. But anyway, that's another. Nick was in Phoenix. We have to work what we got. Mark is now in Phoenix. So um, this team, for all that it does, has potential. And I think that's the thing as a Hornets fan that we get excited about. We get excited about the possibilities of what this team can be. And it hasn't been that way in years. And so as a fan, you get frustrated year after year after year of wondering when it's going to be our time. So this year, again, is looking promising. I'm actually happy to see the Hornets not just grab guys off the couch and say, you can get a shot, and then you can get a shot, and then you can get a shot. No. Stop grabbing guys that anytime you turn on the Hornets game, you're like, who is that? And how are you here? And whose couch did they pull you off of? We get tired of seeing that. I got tired last season of watching Hornets game, like, who is that? Where did you come from? This is what we doing? We just picking anybody? You just say, hey, you come get a uniform. You there in the 50th row with a beer in your hand. You can come be a Hornet. No. Even your depth should show where the progress is going in your organization. And our depth showed that we were just throwing guys on the court just to play. It looked like what we were doing. Just come on down. You haven't played in years. So many teams gave up on you, but you can be a Hornet. Come on and play. Come on in. No. Sit down. Have several seats. Don't come over here. And it's like now they're getting it. As I said, the additions that the Hornets made shows me that they're getting it. You're bringing in shooters, as we were on one of the worst three-point shooting teams last season. You're bringing in more ball handlers. You're bringing in guys that can create not only for themselves, but for others. You're bringing in competition at the guard spot and at the wing spot. That is fantastic. We need to truly address the center position, and that's been the Hornets' Achilles heel for God knows how long. And I can tell how long Hornets fan I've been. The last good center that we had, truly good center we had, was Al. Al Jefferson was that dude. Dwight was cool. Dwight wasn't Al Jefferson. Al Jefferson could give you work down in the post. Work. Well, since then it's been a turnstile. And we need that consistent guy in the post. We wanted that to be Mark. Wasn't him. Had Nick for a while. You wanted it to be Cody Zeller. We thought it was Biz. We went through Jesus Christ. I didn't want to name half of these guys. They went through Al, went through Dwight. Had Kaminsky here for a while. Noah Vonleh. We're tired of the turnstile at center. And we deserve something competent. Again, you have a franchise point guard that you haven't had since Kemba left, right? Kemba deserved better too, but you gave Kemba Al for a little bit. You gave Kemba Dwight for a little bit. give LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, a legit center, like a legit center. And I think this team can go places. Now, I'm not saying we're winning a title, but we can go places. We can do things. But again, that also depends on LaMelo Ball staying healthy, not committing stupid fouls. Brandon Miller staying healthy. I don't really worry about him committing stupid fouls because he's more mature than that. Miles Bridges staying at the level he is, and I'm hoping he stays here. But it's going to take these guys buying in, fully committing, staying healthy, and gelling. Because the team was fun to watch when the guys were on the court. But, that's just right now, y'all. I'm going to give y'all my summer preview of our Charlotte Hornets. Of course, as the season approaches, because I know it's all season. But again, I wanted to come back on here, celebrate our Hornets because we actually won something. It may be the Summer League, fam, but we won something. And I'll take it. And I was excited, and I was actually engaged because we won something. And if you're a Hornets fan, you know what it means when we say we actually won something. It was actually, it's sad that that's our first championship. Our first. And it's a Summer League championship. It's bad. It's bad. But anyway, it can be the stepping stone for many great things for this organization. Again, with the ownership, the renovations that are happening to the stadium, to the arena, the new general manager, head coach, the people that they're actually bringing in, and not just bringing in bodies. You can see that they really want this fan base to get behind this team. And the Hornets have always had a good fan base. We've been loyal fans for years. And so I am ready to see the change. I am ready to see this team actually win. I am ready to not look at the screen and ready to throw something at it. I'm ready to stop turning the game off in the second or third quarter because we're just getting whooped. And it's depressing. So I'm looking forward to this team being competitive. And we have the pieces now to actually do that. So thank you, Jeff Peterson. Thank you for assembling a team that this city and this fan base can actually get behind in a way. Since the days of Stack Jack and G-Dub. And even though we didn't win that one, the fan base was rabid since Kemba in his days. And it was fun to be a Bobcats/Hornets fan. We didn't win much, but it was fun. You could tolerate watching them play. These past few years, it's been hard to watch this team play. It's hard. And then you're bringing bums in off the street. It's hard watching them play. But we watch. We stick behind you. People still buy tickets. I still sit on that couch and watch you play and get depressed watching you play and depressed watching you pull guys off the couch or letting certain players go, and you're like, what are we doing? But again, man, I'm looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to what these Hornets are going to do. And until we get closer to training camp, if something else happens, I'll get back on here, man. But Buzz City, let's get excited, man. Like, good things are happening. We're not just picking guys just to pick them. We're picking guys who are winners, who want to compete, who want to get better, who will push the guys we already have here. So, man, you already know how I do. No matter what happens, no matter what we go through, I'll always bleed Carolina blue, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Till next episode. Y'all stay safe. Y'all have a good one. I'm gone.